Securities Weekly Market Roundup. I am Ameresekere.
And I am Tharindu Ameresekere. This is the sound of profitability.
According to the joint Apparel Association Forum, Sri Lanka's exports to the US dropped by 7.59% in May 2025 amid Trump's tariff uncertainty. However, shipments to other markets allowed to maintain the same revenues.
Exports to the UK also fell by 6.18%, but exports for EU had grown by 5.15%, while other markets grew by 11.1%, almost maintaining last year's revenues of $365.08 million, which was only 0.63% down. In the first 5 months to May, exports grew by 9.8% to reach $2.02 billion. Exports to the EU, except UK, grew by 15.6% in the first 5 months of 2025, followed by 13.12% growth in non-traditional markets. Shipments to the USA were still up with 6.52% growth up to May, despite the April dip, and UK also grew by 3.74%.
Sri Lanka's service exports rose by 22.3% to 1,028.5 million USD, according to data from the EDB. This is mainly due to the developments in the transport and logistics sector exports. ICT BPM exports rose by 17.4% to 128.23 million USD, but construction fell at 4.6% to 18.77 million USD. Financial services also fell 27.14% to 5 million USD. Transport and logistics grew 22.39% to 358.14 million USD. Total services exports to May 2025 were 1,589.12 million USD, up by 22%. With merchandise exports, total exports grew 6.35% to 1,386.66 million USD in May.
Cabinet directed the legal draftsman to prepare a new tourism bill based on concept paper prepared by an expert committee. The cabinet spokesman and minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said the new proposed act is expected to create a more modern, responsive and growth-oriented regulatory framework for the tourism industry.
Deputy Tourism Minister Professor Ruwan Ranasinghe says the new act will reflect evolving dynamics of the tourism industry, trends, investment facilitation, and sustainable development. The initiative to replace the existing 2005 Act comes in the backdrop of a wider effort to overhaul the tourism governance structure, which includes the proposal to establish a National Tourism Council as an apex body to address bureaucratic overlaps, accelerate project execution, and unlock sector's full growth potential.
And now it's time for the corporate highlights.
India's Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited has decided to buy a 51% controlling stake at a value of 52.96 million USD of Sri Lanka's Colombo Dockyard PLC. The board of MDL had given the approval for the deal, India's Financial Express newspaper said in an online report quoting a stock exchange filing. In addition to purchasing shares from Onomichi, it will also purchase securities of the Sri Lankan company through primary subscription, the statement said. Japan's Onomichi Dockyard, which held the shares, decided to exit the company, which has made losses after the coronavirus crisis and some low-margin shipbuilding contracts, and the firm is in need of cash.
Melco Resorts and Entertainment will begin its operations of the City of Dreams Casino and the Nuwa Hotel in Colombo on the 2nd of August, as the group announced in a joint statement with Sri Lanka's John Keells Holdings.
The 1.2 billion US dollar integrated resort already has a 687 room Cinnamon Life hotel in operation. The Nuwa hotel will add another 113 rooms. According to the JKH chairman Krishan Balendra, the opening of the casino and the Nuwa hotel operated by Melco marks the realization of a key pillar of the City of Dreams Sri Lanka, bringing to fruition the integrated development that was envisioned over a decade ago. In addition to the casino and entertainment zone, the integrated resort, launched as the first in South Asia, will have MICE facilities designed to host global business events and conventions.
Here is Tharindu with the ESG update of the week.
Batteries for solar power are hit with a 46% tariff at the point of import in Sri Lanka, making Sri Lanka a relatively expensive destination compared to other countries, according to the renewable energy industry groups. Sri Lanka's Ceylon Electricity Board has announced a 45.8 rupees per unit tariff for solar battery energy stored during the day and discharged into the grid between 6:30 pm and 10:30 pm. But the taxes increase the capital cost of batteries artificially, the Federation of Renewable Energy Developers said. The import duty was around 25%, and there was a 5% para tariff called Port and Airport Levy and value-added tax of 18%. Because electricity is not under Sri Lanka's value-added tax regime, the developers cannot recover the VAT, unlike in other sectors, by invoicing the CEB, the FRED officials said. Here's Megara with the international update of the week.
US stocks gained on Monday, capping off a strong month and a remarkable second quarter for the Wall Street.
The Dow closed higher by 276 points or 0.63%. The broader S&P 500 rose by 0.52%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite gained by 0.47%. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq both closed at fresh record highs, extending their gains after notching record highs on last Friday. The S&P 500 posted its best quarter since December 2023, and Nasdaq posted its best quarter since June 2020. This is a major rebound after markets had a dismal first quarter. After tumbling in March and early April as President Donald Trump's tariff policy shocked Wall Street, stocks then recovered their losses across May and June. At the halfway point into the year, the mood is remarkably different from 3 months ago. Investors have cheered as stocks have swiftly recovered to fresh highs and volatility has subsided. Yet, stocks are now relatively expensive and the economic backdrop remains uncertain, leaving questions about what catalyst might push markets higher.
And that's it for this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. No matter what investment decision you make it with the right intent. We will see you in a brand new week.